A warm welcome once again, dear friends, to the International Fab Talk Show. We are very glad and happy to have a special guest amongst us. We'd like to share our thoughts with you, and we'd love to know your thoughts on our program. Our guest is here to share her life journey. She is a lecturer. She's in the academic field, giving the best to the students who come in contact with her. My dear friends, she's all the way connecting from Nigeria, a beautiful place. And friends, let us get to know our guest in an official way. Dear ma'am, thank you for accepting our invitation to the Fab Talks.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's an honor.
It's a pleasure. The day you accepted our invite, we were really overwhelmed and humbled.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. I'm humbled as well. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear friends, we'll introduce our guest now in an official way. We'll get to know what are her accomplishments, how many feathers she has in her cap. Let us check out, dear friends. Ma'am, with your permission, I'll be introducing you in an official way. May I, ma'am?
You may. Please proceed.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Dear friends, she is Dr. Bilkisu Larai Muhammad-Bello. I repeat again, Dr. Bilkisu Larai, I guess. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, you're right. All right.
Muhammad-Bello. And she's completed a PhD, and she's a distinguished professional within the expansive domains of computer science, with a robust academic foundation that includes achieving first-class honors in a Bachelor of Technology in computer science and mathematics, and attaining a PhD in computer science and electrical engineering. Bilkisu has demonstrated an exceptional aptitude for academic excellence. Throughout her career trajectory, Bilkisu has played a pivotal role, an important role across various academic and professional landscapes, illuminating her expertise in software engineering, information technology, and of course, computer science. Her current position as a senior lecturer at Nile University of Nigeria bears testament to her commitment to fostering knowledge and skills among budding professionals of the future. She is a great icon. She is a great role model and inspiration to many of the youngsters, and of course, her peers as well. At the core of her professional essence lies a profound analytical acumen honed through rigorous academic training and years of research and teaching experience. Her doctoral research exploring the intricate domain of cloud computing. I repeat that again. Her doctoral research exploring the intricate domain of cloud computing and performance uncertainty handling has not only expanded the boundaries of knowledge, but has also widely, enabled her to give notable presentations at esteemed international conferences and a plethora of peer-reviewed publications. Beyond academics, let's know what's beyond academics. Beyond academic endeavors, Bilkisu ma'am has a formidable or a great leadership quality. She loves to be a leader and collaborate, have this collaborative spirit with one and all, and shine through her role as a team leader. That's the main essence of being in the academic field or in the educational sector. And dear friends, she's not only a great team leader, she's a wonderful mentor, a guide, and a great coordinator, a facilitator in interdisciplinary projects. Apart from that, she actively engages with professional associations such as the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers and the International Association of Engineers, further underscores her dedication to professional development and the advancement of her field. In addition to her commitment to societal well-being is palpable through her involvement in a multitude of university committees and initiatives, revealing a profound passion for community services. This is really very nice. This spirit of service extends beyond the professional realm to her personal interests, where Bilkisu finds joy. Where she finds her joy, my friends? She finds her joy in volunteering for social services and other tasks, projects, new projects, mastering languages, exploring diverse cultures through her travel. She loves traveling and she loves to explore the world. And yes, today we are going to explore ma'am on the International Fab Talks. Dear ma'am, you have such an illustrious background and we are humbled that you joined us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Dear friends, we will now go in a very, calm way and get to know who our guest is and what has she to share with all of us. What is she going to share? What wisdom she has to share with us? What we could learn from the guest today, our celebrity, as we do every day. Yes, ma'am. The first question for you is, dear, who is the real you? How would you define yourself?
I would like to define myself as a problem-solving enthusiast. I like to view challenges from the lens of how can I help? Okay, so I'm always on the lookout for new challenges to tackle. And that is why finding myself in the academic domain, it's like a lifelong dream come true. Day in, day out, I try to see how can I help? How can I help students? So I like to see myself as a solution provider and a helper to anybody. I don't attach sentiments. No, anybody can be helped. Any problem, with the little wisdom God has given me, I try to see how I can provide a solution. So that is how I would just describe myself in a nutshell.
How sweet. That's so nice of you. So humble of you to explain that in a very beautiful way, to be of help to everyone.
Everyone.
That's nice. Apart from students, anyone.
To the best of my ability, yes. To the best of my ability, yeah.
Yes, wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. Very nice. So nice of you. Dear ma'am, you've been on the professional front for a very long time, right?
Yes.
You might have faced a lot of ups and downs, a lot of stress, or you might have, if you would not have faced any stress, if you have watched others, in stress, taking a lot of, feeling anxious on different occasions, how would you try to answer this question, ma'am? How could one de-stress and feel very quiet and normal? Because I find you're a very calm person, a very composed person. How is that possible?
I have this mantra: there is no problem without solution.
Oh, okay? Great.
It could just take a while. So whatever challenges you might be facing, these too shall pass. Even if you don't have a solution right there and then, give it time. Time is your best friend. Sometimes it might not be easy coping with it, but having that faith and belief that this problem or this challenge is soon going to be history is what just motivates me to keep going. So like you rightly mentioned, throughout my academic career, it has not been a bed of roses. There have been challenges here and there, but I keep my focus on the destination, what I'm trying to achieve in any time I face an obstacle. And with the hope and the knowledge, knowing that this cannot persist forever, it's soon going to pass. And then I'm relaxed and I'll be like, it's just for a phase. It's just a phase. And I think it's also important that we appreciate that challenges are meant to build us. The challenges I've gone through in my life is what has made me Bilkisu today. So challenges are not all, I don't look at challenges or problems in the negative way, no. God has brought that to you for a reason. You are supposed to learn and grow from it. So what I would advise viewers is that, of course, you would face challenges, but view it with a lens or a perspective of positivity. Know that this will soon pass and just be patient, give it time, and don't stress. Relax. If you believe in God, pray to your God and remain focused. So that's how I tackle challenges in my life. Beautiful. And it has always helped 100%. Nothing lasts forever. So challenges as well, they don't last forever. And once you come out of it, you would see that you've actually grown to be a better version of yourself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice.
Yeah.
Dear ma'am, how were you as a little kid? Were you naughty, mischievous?
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, shy.
As a kid, I was a very curious kid. I was a curious explorer. You would always find me get lost in books. My dad, of blessed memory now, did a wonderful thing for us as kids. We had a library, a mini library in the home. And that was my own escape from this world. So you always find me curious. You find me lost in books and inventing my own imaginary world. And I believe that has also helped me quite a lot in life. I guess it has also changed me somehow. So being in a library, I have a mini library as well in my home. I've tried to encourage my kids to be curious learners. Not everything is taught in the four walls of a classroom, and books are a wonderful gift to humanity. So even outside my field, I try to get books for myself, my students, my kids, everybody. So as a kid, you would always find me at home in the mini library, which happened to be in my father's study room. So that was my own safe haven. So I was just a curious kid, and I asked a lot of questions from what I was learning in books.
Beautiful, ma'am. Very nice. So nice. I could just imagine, like, get a picture like that. You sitting down in your mini library as a little
Yes.
kid and reading. Even now, you say you're using the place where you have a lot of books.
Yeah.
Spending
As
your
a
time.
kid, I was reading encyclopedias.
Great.
My dad had a whole line of encyclopedias from A to Z. So that was just enough to keep me busy. You know how big those books used to be back in the days, encyclopedias? I would take my time to just go one after the other. So I was just fascinated by the things I was learning, and I was even more curious, and that's made me ask a lot of questions at home, at school, anywhere. I was just a curious kid. Everything was fascinating and interesting to me. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. Great. And there are hardly few kids like that who are very curious, who are interested in reading. No, that's a rare thing. Usually we have children mischievous or being shy, disobedient. But here being curious is something very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And you asked many questions as well, you said, right?
Many questions, yes.
Yes,
my uncles and aunties know me for that. When they come visiting, they know I have a lot of questions waiting. Okay. And I just want to know, I'm just curious. I just want to know why this, how this, and all of that. So I asked a lot of questions.
Yes.
They all have nicknames for me for that, because till now they'll be like, oh, you still ask a lot of questions. I said, yes, I'm just curious.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So nice. So nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, dear. Dear ma'am, who is your inspiration or who you consider your role model?
I draw inspiration from everyday heroes, the unsung individuals we have all over the world who display some sort of immense resilience and kindness to humanity in the face of the various kinds of adversity we are facing in today's world. So there are so many heroes out there, and when I read stories or listen to the news about these unsung heroes, it really, really inspires me. Like, I want to be an unsung hero too. I don't really want to be popular, no, but I want to be impactful in my lifetime. So that's what really inspires me. I can't place a name to one person because we have so many of them. As we listen to news day in, day out, and also read, you find inspiring people are all over the world. So I would say that's where I draw my inspiration from.
Great, great, ma'am. Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, dear. Thank you. Dear ma'am, as you said, you already have a library. May I know now, or may the audience know your favorite book? Among all the books, which is your favorite?
Okay, so you might be surprised by this. Have you heard of the author James Hadley Chase?
Yes, ma'am.
I love his books. I love his book. As a teenager then, my dad, again, God bless his soul, I came across the first book. I think I borrowed from a friend, brought it home, and I really liked it. And my father went out to buy me a whole collection of his books. There's just something about the way he writes, the suspense. It's like me watching a movie back then, which the TV didn't really fascinate me as a child. I wasn't a child that loved to watch cartoons, TV, no, or movies, no. But James Hadley Chase's books were like my own movie. So I absolutely love his writing style and I love his books.
Great, ma'am. Thanks.
That's my favorite author. Yeah, if I can choose one, yeah, James Hadley Chase, definitely.
Great, ma'am. Among all the authors, you selected that particular author.
Yes, I would select that one.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for sharing the author's names, such that our audience, our visual, virtual audience would definitely focus on reading the book by that great author.
Okay.
Dear ma'am, the next question coming up is, how would you like to be remembered in this world?
I would like to be remembered as an impactful individual. I want to impact so many lives, the little I can do. And I hope to be remembered as somebody that loves to help. And that's why I also find joy in it, to be honest. Volunteering is one of the ways I distress. Helping others, volunteering in causes I believe in gives me joy. So I would like to be remembered as that person who really tries to help others, inspire young minds, my students, and also maybe a curious person that wants to know a little about everything she comes across. That's how I like to be remembered, as an impactful person. Yeah.
Nice, ma'am. Very nice. Very great. Beautiful. Dear ma'am, as you said, as we have already known in the initial stages of this interview, that you are interested in traveling.
Yes, ma'am.
How many countries have you visited, or how many places you have visited? If you'd like to share with us.
I've visited about 8 to 10 countries now.
Oh, great.
Yes, 8 to 10 countries. Unfortunately, lately, I've not been able to travel because I'm the full-time caregiver for my mother now. She stays with me now, so I really cannot go anywhere, but I've traveled to the United States. I did my PhD in Japan. I've traveled to China, Taiwan. Then I did my master's in the UK. Then across West Africa, I've explored Ghana, Benin Republic, Ivory Coast, Mali, Senegal. I think more than 10. I've been to Kenya. Yeah, so I love to travel because you learn so much about other cultures when you travel. It also broadens your horizon. You know there is still so much out there outside your immediate environment. Particularly, I'd like to talk about my experience while studying in Japan. I spent 4 years in Japan as a PhD scholar. I spent the first 6 months just learning the languages and the culture. I wasn't doing my research for the very first 6 months. And I absolutely loved it. Learning about the culture, learning the language, and that helped me to integrate. So I enjoyed the rest of my stay. At least while studying, my program was in English language, but understanding Japanese and being able to communicate with the locals really, really helped me enjoy my stay. And particularly learning about the culture, it's really, really fascinating, the kinds of things you learn, and then you know the world really doesn't revolve around you. There's still so much out there that you don't know. And when you get to know them, it's really, really fascinating. And it just broadens your horizon in a really, really positive way.
Nice, ma'am. Beautifully, you have shared that. Like the world doesn't only revolve around you.
No, not at all. So if you feel in my culture, this is not okay. For example, like I'm a Muslim, but I totally enjoyed living in Japan because I learned about Shintoism, Buddhism, and all the other religions they have there. And for the mere fact that they were Japanese people culturally, they are so mindful of other people that they would rather endure than to make you feel uncomfortable. I don't know if you understand that. They are that mindful. They will rather discomfort themselves than discomfort you as a foreigner. And they made my life really, really so easy. I could practice my religion in Japan. We had a mosque. So learning about that and knowing the kind of background I was coming from, the fact that unfortunately there are some people that are not really tolerant when it comes to religion like that in my own country, but going out to see other religions, really mindful and respectful of other religions, and even welcoming once, and that's what language does to you again. Once you speak to the language, they are like more open, and they are fascinated that, oh, this Black lady can actually speak, she can understand what we're saying in Japanese. So that is really, really something travel has done for me as well. And a take home from the Japanese people, like I mentioned earlier, they are so mindful of others. And that is one trait I've also tried to imbibe in my life. Try to be mindful of other people. You never know what challenges they might even be going through. So since I've been back from Japan, I hardly even really take offense. I rather give an excuse as to why this person behaved this way to me. I'll be the one to even give you an excuse rather than pick an offense and become mad or angry. No, I would excuse that behavior and be like, perhaps she's just having a rough day, and then just let it go. And that helps you to, you don't put it to mind, and the person too just doesn't get offended that you are offended. And I learned that from the Japanese. They are very mindful.
And very polite as well. I've heard.
And very polite as well.
Yes.
And very clean. I learned in Japan that if I go out to a picnic, I take my rubbish back home if there is no public dustbin. In Japan, you always find a very neat toilet and you leave it that way as well. They are very clean, very polite, very mindful of others. So these are some of the qualities that have enriched me as a person, learning about their culture, their ways of living. There's so many things to take home. And I'm glad I had that opportunity to experience living in that country for 4 good years. It's a country I would love to go back, if possible, to even relocate.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
it's a
There's a question like,
country.
If you would get a chance to relocate, which country would you relocate to? So
I would relocate to Japan, because for me, I already speak the language. My kids are also fascinated with languages, so I know they will be able to pick up on the language easily. So if the opportunity comes in the future and I'm considering, Japan would definitely be on my list of countries to consider. Yeah.
Great. Wonderful, ma'am. Thanks for giving us an insight into the Japanese culture and the politeness of the Japanese people. Dear ma'am, what is that one thing you like in yourself? Like, you've been connecting with different people, but there must be something special in you that you identify that this is my quality in me. This is the core quality within me. What is that you've identified? And I like myself because of this quality.
I would say it's contentment. I'm a very contented person. I never get agitated whenever maybe something is trending and I don't have it. No, whatever I have, I'm so contented with it. And I don't look at what I don't have. Rather, I see the cup half full. I'm contented with whatever I have. And I'm really grateful. I don't know if this was how God made me or it was my upbringing, but it's something I really admire. If I'm to choose one quality I admire in myself, it is contentment. I'm contented with whatever I have and I'm happy with it.
Wonderful. That's a very beautiful attribute that you're gifted with.
Yes.
To be contented, to be satisfied with what you have, to be grateful for what you have. Very nice. That's a rare, of the rarest qualities a human being could possess. Very
nice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, dear.
I don't know how it came about, but it's something I'm trying now to pass on to my children. Wonderful. To be contented in life. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Very nice. Dear ma'am, as a student, as a youngster.
Yes, ma'am.
Apart from reading, books, as you were always involved in reading and curious to know more, you were questioning people and your relatives and friends, of course. Were you also interested in sports and games?
In my secondary school, I was on the team, the relay team for my house. So we have like houses because I was in a boarding school. So I used to be an athlete in the relay team. But later on in the university, I was more interested in like board games. So Scrabble is my absolute favorite because I'm almost always confident that I would win because I know so many words. Scrabble, I used to have a Scrabble dictionary. So people are always surprised when I know, okay, this is not an English word, but I do know it's in the Scrabble dictionary. So I love Scrabble. I love chess as well. Ludo, there are so many board games I'm quite interested in, and I play at my leisure time with my family as well. Aside that, I would say, aside sports in my university days, I was also involved in student unionism. I volunteered. I was the vice president of the student union government in my university. And subsequently, I became the president, just advocating for the students' right from the university management. So I did that while I was in school. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, very nice. Glad to know that you're involved in a lot of board games and
board games. I love board
yeah,
games.
that's
Yes.
really nice. Dear ma'am, the next question: what is that one change you would want to bring in the world? You would want to work on that change and bring about a drastic change in the world. What is that?
So climate change, the environment. So I know sometimes it can sound like a problem that an individual cannot handle. But the reality is, if one person is mindful of the environment and that person passes that trait on to others, then collectively we can start exhibiting habits that would lead to lower emissions of these harmful gases that are hurting the environment. So if I had a way really to change the world, I would love to be impactful in the realms of climate change. Let people know why it is important for us to be more environmentally friendly and why it is important for us to leave this world, if not better, let's not make it worse for the next generation. Because I worry for the future generation. I might not be here, you might not be here, but what kind of world are we living for the children yet unborn? It worries me, to be sincere. So if I had a way to change that, I would. But again, individually, like I need to be mindful of certain things myself. And then you try to pass on that trait to others. Perhaps people will start understanding the importance of why we need to change our habits, how we deal with the environment, and try to do that for the future generation, for the children yet unborn. Let's try to leave this world better, or at least not worse than we met it.
Very nice, ma'am. Very well, well answered.
Yes,
Deep insight into the future and in the present also. Let's not spoil what is already there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's not spoil it. If you can't leave it better, then don't spoil it.
Yes, wonderful. Very nice. I really like this. And hats off to you for this answer. Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Brilliant. Dear ma'am, the next question, ma'am, is about retirement. Like, do you have any plans to retire in the near future, or maybe you don't want to retire at all? How would you take this question on?
Retirement for me is still in the distant future, but I view retirement as a break from full-time work and then to passion work. So eventually when I retire, perhaps I would just stop going for the normal university activities. I would be facing my passion full-time, which is really in volunteering. So I'll give that my 100% attention. And that is not in the near future for me because, to be honest, I'm happy with the kind of job I do. It gives me so much pleasure year in, year out. As I graduate students, new ones coming, you know, watching kids coming so naive in their first year and watching, mentoring, training them to see them graduate. Some even come back when they get jobs or masters. It really gives me so much joy. So it's not something I'm looking forward to stopping very soon. But of course, retirement will come. But I think retirement for me will just be, okay, now stop full-time lecturing. Now go face your passion. And I'll continue to work till the rest of my life.
Very nice, ma'am. Very nice. You're
Yes,
you're so learned, you're so intelligent, you have such a lot of wisdom, you know. Towards the end, at least let it be in passion, connected to your passion.
Passion, yeah.
Not full-time job, at least the passion job, you know, what you're passionate about. Very
yes,
well put in, ma'am. Very nice. You know, very impressive.
Thank you very much.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Dear ma'am, there's a question here like this. What is the difference as a lecturer, as a professor, being in the teaching field, the difference between smart work and hard work?
The difference between smart work and hard work.
Yes.
I would say smart work is when you leverage strategy. When you leverage strategy in executing work, then you are being smart. But hard work is more of dedication and the effort you put into the work. And to be sincere, you need both. Sometimes hard work is not enough. It might not be productive. But when you leverage strategy and combine that with your dedication, then the sky is your ultimate limit. In fact, the sky is going to be a starting point, not a limit for you.
Great. Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. It's a great pleasure to, you know, spend some time with you, get to know you, get to know your thoughts. And of course, my dear audience, you will really be impressed if you watch this video. Such a lot of insight into life, into deep thinking, and to understanding why you are here in this universe. Dear friends, we ask the next question to our special guest today. Dear ma'am, any special dream projects?
I do have a special dream project. So where I come from in Nigeria, we still have a lot of educationally disadvantaged people. I also came from a humble background, but my father prioritized education. And again, of blessed memory, I'm always thankful for that. But looking at my immediate environment, there are still a lot of educationally disadvantaged people. And actually, that is one of my NGO projects. So I would love to contribute in that regards to see how to break that barrier for those educationally disadvantaged people. And my dream project is to see how I can leverage on technology to be able to reach out to those educationally disadvantaged. Perhaps it will be impactful in the sense that it will not be a vicious cycle of poverty for them. If I can reach one and be able to bring them out of that situation, then an entire family would be helped. And then as many as I can be able to reach and help, perhaps that will be impactful for an entire community. So that's my dream project. How can I leverage on technology to be able to help the educationally disadvantaged people?
Wonderful, wonderful, very nice. Beautiful thought, a beautiful dream, and we are sure that your dream will come true, ma'am. Definitely.
Amen, amen. Thank you.
Amen to that, yes, dear. Dear ma'am. Dear ma'am, any word of caution or any suggestion for the youngsters around the world who have just begun their journey, getting their first paycheck? Should they start saving for their, you know, senior years or maybe for their retirement? Should they start collecting some money or, you know, savings for your retirement? Is it really necessary? And if so, how?
Absolutely, absolutely necessary. So again, it depends on the environment you find yourself. There are environments whereby it's even mandatory. Before you get your paycheck, there's a certain cut that is taken out for your retirement. So if you find yourself in that setting, good. But it's also encouraged that you also volunteer to save more for your retirement. It might not be for retirement. Maybe for the youngsters, for me to still view retirement as at a distant future, for them, it's really, really far, okay? So it might not be for retirement, but it's always good to save for the rainy days, okay? You might encounter situations whereby perhaps you would need that fund to be able to actualize certain dreams of yours. And then you don't have to be in debt. So if there's any advice I always give to the young generation, do yourself a favor and never be in debt.
Wow, beautiful, ma'am. I love this.
Never be in debt. Be contented with what you have. Plan and strategize on how you'll be able to leverage on the little you earn. Keep some for your retirement. Save funds for the rainy days and use the rest to maintain yourself. Don't live above your means. And even if you cannot save, do yourself a favor, don't go into debt. Don't go into debt because it can bring on a lot of stress. And once you are stressed, then other challenges might keep coming on top of that. So debt, please, for the young generation, because it is so easy for them to get into debt now. Credit cards here and there. There are so even loan sharks out there now with some apps that will just tell you to upload certain things and you get money. It's not free money. Please don't go into debt. If you cannot save, just do yourself a favor and don't go into debt. So that would be my advice to them. Thank you.
Very nice, ma'am. Very nice. Thank you for this beautiful message that should
Yes.
ring into every individual's ears. Don't fall into debts.
Yes.
Do yourself a favor. Don't fall into debts. You keep yourself happy and contented with what you have.
With what you have. Live within your means.
Within your
Live
means.
within your
Wonderful.
means. Yeah.
Brilliant, ma'am. Wonderful message to the world. Beautiful. Dear ma'am, the next question, ma'am. How often do you smile? Or what brings a smile to your face?
A lot of things, actually. In my religion, smile is an act of kindness. So I think I smile every day, even unnecessarily. Like if somebody is having a bad day, maybe a smile can bring him up. So I try to smile. I greet everybody with a smile. So waking up in the morning, my home, everybody we greet with a smile. And when I get to work, I say hello with a smile to everybody. So I cannot count, but I know I do smile a lot.
Wonderful, wonderful. Dear ma'am, any weaknesses for sweets, ice creams?
Pardon, I didn't get that question.
The question is, do you have any weakness for sweets? If you have seen a sweet or an ice cream, do you have any weakness to go just take it up and eat it up quickly?
No, not really, because a long time ago, I actually broke my sugar addiction. So like the sweet tooth thing, I was able to break that. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't really difficult. I just stopped fizzy drinks. So I actually did that as a form of encouragement or support for my husband. So in the year 2012, my husband became a diabetic, and we just had a child then who also, I don't know what, didn't have that sweet tooth. So it was a conscious effort on my part, and I also wanted to show him solidarity. So we stopped sweet things generally. So sweet things doesn't move me at all. At all. I was able to break that addiction a long time ago. That was 2012 specifically. Awesome. No, I'm not moved by sweets at all.
Very nice of you, no?
And as a matter of fact, when I do taste it, it's overwhelming. Like if I taste something sweet, to me, the taste is just too overwhelming. Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it. I get that, yes, dear. That is so nice. Very nice of you, ma'am. Very nice.
Yes.
I mean, to be like connected with the family and, to really
Yes.
work on it. It's like practice before you preach, or
Yes.
something like that. Practice before you preach.
Practice before you preach,
Yeah.
yes.
So you've already, So today you're sharing it with the world. You have really done a lot of work behind the scene to overcome that.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to get that from you, ma'am. In fact, I have a little sweet over here.
I see.
Yes. So I have to overcome that. I have this craving for sweets and I love sweets. Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Maybe the next time I see you on Fab Talks, maybe I will say, yes, ma'am, I've did it and you are my role model.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, if you weren't in the educational sector, if you weren't a professor now, what would you have been?
Perhaps I would have my NGO, a non-governmental organization, and perhaps I'll be working in that NGO to be able to impact the less privileged. So if I wasn't in the university, I'll perhaps be in an NGO, either locally or internationally, or my own personal pet projects.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. Very well answered. Dear ma'am, do you have any fears? Are you scared of anything?
I do have fears. I have the fear of missed opportunities.
Great.
I have the fear of missed opportunities. So somehow I overthink things sometimes. And that is where that fear actually came from. Because I try to live my life without regrets. I don't know if you understand.
I understand.
So when opportunities come, I tend to overthink things. Do I go with this or do I go with that? And at the long run, it is just coming from that fear, that phobia of what if this was a really great opportunity and I missed on it? I would live a life of regret and I don't want that. So that's my greatest fear.
Great. Dear ma'am, do you get angry?
Not at all.
Because
like I mentioned,
a lot of calm and peace, like you have a lot of calm and peace.
Like if somebody yells at me now, I would excuse that person. Oh, perhaps the person is having a bad day or something happened. I always try to excuse anything that would make me angry. No, I'll be like, it's not normal. So I would rather excuse you than taking that energy and make myself angry. And that raises my blood pressure. No, I don't want that. So I don't get angry. Even my students are fascinated by that because, students do certain things that you would expect would anger me. No, I just excuse them. And some let maybe come back to apologize. Then we can have a talk. But to get angry, no, it means I'm absorbing negative energy.
Wonderful. Very nice. Very well put in, dear. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, dear? Ma'am, am I audible? Is there a technical snag from your end?
Technical snag.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Ma'am, your favorite color and why?
Blue. It's blue color. I love blue, deep blue. It reminds me of tranquility.
Oh, great.
Tranquility, calmness of the ocean.
Wonderful.
I like this shade of blue in the background today. It reminds me so much of the ocean and the calmness of the ocean. So that's my favorite color. It reminds me of tranquility and calmness.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, as a student, what was your favorite subject?
Mathematics, for sure. I love the logical and analytical aspects of mathematics. And when I got into, as part of my undergraduate, I read both computer science and mathematics. It was fascinating to me how problems you didn't think had mathematical solutions actually do have explanations or mathematical solutions today. So my favorite subject was mathematics.
Dear ma'am, the next question coming up is could you share one of your favorite quotes or proverbs, which you like, you are inspired personally? Would you like to share it with all of us?
My favorite quote?
Yes, dear.
These too shall pass.
Wonderful.
If I see anybody having a bad day, if I see anybody sad, if I see anybody not in a cheerful mood, I'll be like, this too shall pass, you know. It's my favorite quote of all time. Give it time, this too shall pass.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, ma'am, for that. It's a takeaway for me and for our audience as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, dear. Thank you. Dear ma'am, your favorite and proudest accomplishment, I could put it like this, your proudest accomplishment till date.
Till date, I would say is my PhD. In my family, I'm the first to have a PhD. In my community, I'm also the first to have a PhD. And I try to inspire now young girls not to limit themselves. Despite all the challenges we face culturally, in marriage, in religiously, no. The only limits you have is the one you set for yourself. There is a limit to what the environment can dictate to limit you. Except you accept that limitation, then you are limiting yourself. But if you have a good heart, you remain focused, you accept challenges as what they are just challenges, you can overcome them, then the sky will be just a starting point for you.
Wonderful.
So that
very nice.
My PhD is my so far greatest accomplishment. And now, hopefully, we're inspiring more in my community that you can do it too if that is your passion. For me, it was a passion. I loved books. I loved academics. I loved research.
Brilliant. Very nice. You're such a great...
And I was lucky enough that my marriage did not limit me. It would surprise you to know that I went to the UK for my master's while my husband was taking care of our 2-year-old baby. I went alone. It was a 1-year master's program, very rigorous. I came back. And when I went for my PhD too, my parents helped take care of my kids. So I had that privilege of family support. So I cannot overemphasize how grateful I am for the support of family. They did not clip my wings. They allowed me to explore, to fly, and I remain grateful to them for my greatest accomplishment. So when I got my degree, I actually came back and told my father, my mother, and my husband and children that this is actually for you. I just did the hard work, but you own this degree.
Beautiful, ma'am. And you're really lucky to have a blessed family like that, a cooperative family,
yes.
understanding family.
Yes, yes.
You're very blessed. Yes, dear ma'am.
I know.
Dear ma'am, do you love pets? Do you have any pets at home?
No. I don't love pets at all. I'm not an animal lover. Dogs, cats, they scare me as a matter of fact. So I don't own any pets.
Okay, okay, dear. Dear ma'am, the next question here is, ma'am, if the Almighty or the universe handed over a superpower to you, and they say, my dear, choose the superpower that you like, what would that be? What would you choose? What type of a superpower?
I think it would be nice if there was a superpower that would make it possible to feed the world. I think that's the superpower I'll choose. Nobody should go to bed hungry. If I had that superpower, I think I'll choose that.
How nice of you.
With that power, I would ensure nobody in any part of this world goes to bed hungry. So food for the entire world is what I would choose.
Very nice. I'd like to applaud you for selecting that beautiful boon to fill every stomach.
Yes.
None should go without.
None should go to bed without food. Yeah.
Wonderful. Like, very nice. I really like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Nice. Dear ma'am, would you like to enlighten our audience and create some alertness today on this platform and keep them cautious and alert and try to just make them identify the red flags in life? Any 2 red flags?
Red flags in life. That's a deep question.
Yes.
So red flags in life, I would say uncommitment in anything. It could be at the workplace. It could be with your studies. It could be in a marriage. It could be at home. Lack of commitment is a huge red flag. Is a huge red flag. So try to be committed to any cause or thing you believe in. Family is even non-negotiable. You should be committed to family. Work, so far as you are not being forced to do that work, you've signed the contract, you've accepted the terms and conditions of the job, you need to be 100% committed. So a huge red flag for me is always uncommitment towards anything. Yeah.
Second. Thank you, ma'am. That was really very nice for sharing. Thank you so much. I just muted myself, and so I had to unmute myself now. Wonderful answer, dear. Thank you so much. Dear ma'am, do you think the world is receiving the right amount of mileage with regard to creating awareness on mental health?
Not at all.
Colleges and different countries and continents?
Not at all. I think perhaps maybe to a certain segment, I would say those that maybe have access to social media, the news, international news and all that, perhaps they will be getting some messages. But the reality is the less privileged are the ones that are even more, if I can use that word, in need of mental health awareness, considering the kinds of situations they do find themselves. So I don't think the coverage is enough, particularly for a targeted audience of the less privileged. They don't even have an idea of what mental health is and how to cope or what they should do to be mindful of certain things that has to do with mental illness. No, they don't.
Yes, dear. Very nice. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Thank you so much. Dear ma'am, from this very second, as we are having this little interview here with each other over here on the International Fab Talk Show, from this very second and the next coming 50 years, what type of changes do you visualize?
I visualize a lot of technological advancements in the world. I visualize a lot of automation going to happen in the next 50 years. And I visualize a world where it's a smaller world in the sense that the distance between, let's say, Africa and Australia, we won't really conceive it in terms of the physical distance again. The connectivity will be so great. Now we're on 5G, right? In the next 50 years, perhaps we'll be on 8G or 10G. The communication is going to be super fast and the world is going to be more connected. So a lot of technological advancements, automation, and fantastic connectivity, regardless of where you are in the world.
Perfect, ma'am. Very nice. You know, you've taken us deep into the future. That's wonderful. Like it's from 5G going to 8G. That's really nice. I love that.
Yes.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, if you were given an opportunity to go into the past and relive somebody's life, whose life you would like to relive?
Whose life would I like to relive? Pass. Well, I can't think of any.
Done.
Pass.
Yes, dear. Ma'am, how to deal with constructive criticism? Usually we have students, if you have given a constructive criticism with regard to any of their projects or work, it's a constructive criticism. It's not criticism, in fact. Actually, it's a constructive criticism. Even then, some students are very sensitive. They may commit suicide or they may stop coming to college and school. They may withdraw into their shell. They are unable to even take constructive criticism. You could put it that way, or you could just put it the way you want to put it across to the virtual audience and to the guests today?
I think it still has to do with the lens they are using to view that criticism. To me, constructive criticism is a gold mine. It's supposed to make you better. If it is regarding a work you submitted, a constructive criticism is supposed to make that work better, make it fantastic. So you should accept it with open mind, take the corrections, and also be thankful that you even got it in the first place. Constructive criticism is really a gold mine. Not everybody knows how to give it. But sometimes I know where the challenge normally comes from. It's not about what was said, it's how it was said. So as teachers also, we need to be mindful of how we say it. So constructive criticism is something good. It's supposed to help us bring out the best in students. And the students should be 100% receptive. They should even thank us for it. It's a gold mine. Not everybody can give it.
Wonderful.
Okay. So
very nice.
For the students watching, please be receptive of constructive criticism. It's not there to break you. It's there to bring out a better version of yourself or your work. And for teachers like me, please, it's not what we say most times, it is how we say it. So let's be more mindful of how we give out constructive criticism. Thank you.
Good, beautiful, wonderful, ma'am. A big round of applause for this beautiful answer and message.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, dear. Dear ma'am, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself for forgiving others?
Forgiving others, okay. To be modest, I would say an 8.
Yes, dear. Very nice, very nice.
An 8.
An 8.
Yes.
Yes, dear. Very fair, very fair.
Perfect, yeah.
Yes, dear. Dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the main round of the interview. Now we have a small interview, ma'am, and
Yes,
that is called as the rapid fire round. It will just take 5 minutes. May I take, may I take another 5 minutes, please?
No problem, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for obliging.
You're welcome.
Dear friends, we go ahead with the rapid fire round. The main round was really intensive and power-packed, filled with knowledge and wisdom. And of course, it will create an impact in each of our lives. Now we go on with the rapid fire round. Ma'am, the answers should be in 1 word or 2 words. Briefly.
Okay.
Right? Done? Good to go?
Okay.
Yes,
Good
dear.
to go.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, you love the summer, winter, rainy, or spring season?
Rainy?
You love to travel by land, air, or water?
Air.
City, village, or a little town?
A little town.
When you help others, do you expect something in return?
Not at all. It's
Your
selfless.
idea of a beautiful day in 1 word, or a perfect day in 1 word?
A perfect day in 1 word. Stress-free.
Wonderful. Very nice. Are you a good cook? Yes or no?
Yes.
Your favorite recipe?
Jollof rice.
Great. Dear ma'am, the next question. Your favorite teacher's name as a kid, or maybe your favorite sir?
Mr. James.
Wonderful. Dear ma'am, are you an early bird or a night owl?
I'm an early bird.
Which part of the day you're very active? Morning, afternoon?
Mornings?
Mornings.
Mornings. I'm a morning person.
Wonderful. You love salty food or spicy food? We'll take out the sweets.
Spicy.
Spicy. This question is a bit like more deeper. Should we only prioritize money or only focus on happiness, or be realistic, as I say, to focus on both? How do we take this?
Be a realist. Focus on both.
Yes. Very nice. Are you an introvert or an extrovert, or a blend of both?
I'm a blend of both, depending on the environment.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, when you are all alone and you're here deep with your thoughts, where do your thoughts take you? Are they
Japan.
taking... Oh, wonderful.
Japan.
That's so nice. That's really nice. Yes, dear. You love socializing or me time?
Me time.
Great. Are you a great thinker, or are you a doer, or a blend of both?
A blend of both.
Now here, this question, I'll put it this way. Street smart or book smart?
Both.
Both. Wonderful. I love that answer. Yes, dear. You love fresh fruits or fresh salad or fried food?
Fresh fruits.
Home cooked food or food ordered from out?
Home cooked meals.
If you had the chance and the opportunity to visit a beach or a forest, which one would you choose?
Hawaii beach.
Oh, great. Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice, beautiful answer. You love to walk or ride a two-wheeler or drive a four-wheeler?
Four-wheeler.
There's a lovely table, there's a nice book, and lovely, great music. What would you do? Take either any one of them or both?
The book.
The book. I get that. I knew you will select the book. Ma'am, would you oblige and sing a song for us? A line or two?
Any song?
Any song.
Any song?
Yes, any song from any language.
From any language. Okay, I'll sing a song in Japanese. Haruga kita, doko ni kita. Yama ni kita, nani mo kita.
Beautiful, beautiful. If at all you could take a minute and just explain that, if you could, what's the real essence of the song? Is it possible now to share?
Yes, ma'am. So this song is about spring season in Japan. So that the spring has come. Be like, where has it come from? Okay, it has come from the mountains, because the spring in Japan is really, really beautiful. You see the flower blooms and all of that. So it's a popular song they sing when it is spring season in Japan.
Wonderful, wonderful, dear. Dear ma'am, we come to the last part of the session today, and that is to share the three main words. Dear friends, as we always request our special guests on this platform to share three positive words, three magical words, apart from please, sorry, and thank you. So let's see what our guest is going to share with us, the three magical words from our special guest. Yes, dear ma'am, over to you.
Okay, I would say unity, peace, and mindfulness.
Wonderful, brilliant words, ma'am. They are really magical, in fact. Unity is such a magical word.
Yes.
Creating magical effect. Unity, peace,
mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Unity, peace, and mindfulness. All of these are so powerful and so magical if you really implement them in your life. And of course, as the whole universe should unite and be united, not only on this platform, be united in everything that you do. Spread love and joy.
Absolutely.
Like our guest. Yes, dear. Very
Absolutely.
nice. Dear ma'am, one last message before we sign off.
One last message I would like to tell the audience is to be the change they want to see in this world.
Great.
Be the change you want to see in this world.
Wonderful, wonderful. My dear friends, with this, we'd like to sign off. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's wonderful. Dear ma'am, thanks a lot. Thank you. We really are very grateful.
Thank you so much for having me too. It's my pleasure. And I really had a nice time chatting with you this evening.
Thank you, dear. Then God bless. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you too.
Thank you. We'd love to have your presence in the further sessions that we have in future. We really love to have you once more.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye. Dear friends, with this, we sign off and we'll meet up soon with yet another beautiful celebrity and a special guest to share their knowledge and their expertise on the International Fab Talks. Thank you. Stay tuned.